Board of Trustees, subject to the open meeting law, is being recorded in accordance with section 2-2-201, 2-3-202, 2-3-203, and 2-3-214 Montana Code annotated. All members of the board, staff, and public in attendance are advised that the public portions of the meeting will be recorded in both an audio and video format. Cameras and recording devices are placed throughout the meeting room to complete these recordings. Everyone in attendance is reminded to honor basic rules of decorum during the meeting and guidance associated with providing public comment as stated in policy 1429. The remaining of the meeting, those present consent to being recorded and displayed in the footage that will be posted on the school district website. Welcome back. Day two. Day two of this.
So, a couple of different ways we can go about doing this. Like, we can pick a handful of them out, discuss them. I think some of them might need a little bit more clarification just for understanding of, like the one for me, I think I understand it, but it's with the creation of the head class advisors. So my understanding is one person would stay, like let's say you have one person that would be designated as freshman every year, right, for 4 years or whatever. One would just be sophomores, one juniors, one seniors, and then there's three that would move with the class.
Oh, that's me.
I'm
Okay.
like, that's your.
Yes. Well, so Carl and I have been working on the logistics of that situation, but I think that's what, so you'd have the one main head person for whether it's freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
And they kind of know everything that goes on that year.
Right,
so
right,
they kinda
and then
rotate.
they're gonna be that person for basically the next 4 years.
Mhm.
And then basically they get a break at that point. That next person, that sub person steps in for to fill in for that role. And then when that year goes up, then they're back in that position,
Right.
type situation. And then that person will travel up with the kids. Our thought process is by rotating them, having the rest rotate through, we would have basically teachers who know the kids a little bit and say, these ones can help with that, or have helped in the past to help recruit as we basically siphon the kids into each class going forward.
Sure.
And I know a lot of it, we're trying to get more towards into like the finite logistics, more in the teacher handbook rather than into the contract itself. But I figured we needed an explanation of what we're trying to accomplish to get it so that you all understand what's going on.
Yeah, that one makes sense to me, especially being at the high school, because it's like the four of them.
Otherwise you forget.
Right, you have to remember everything that they have to do that year.
I mean, and basically, like I know for my own take, it's been 4 years since I've had to make sure prom that we ordered like all the punch and all the ginger ale to form the punch,
Mhm.
you know, the wine to get everything done. It's little things like that that slip through the cracks, and all of a sudden then we're scrambling once we forget.
Right, okay, so then if we go back to the language in the master agreement, so the way that I'm understanding this is like 9th and 10th get like 300 some dollars.
Yeah, so something like that, yeah.
So you would take, so you'd have your one main, right?
Right.
And then your other three, you take 25 from each of them and add it to the total of the other person.
Right.
So they do
Yes.
like $75.
Yes,
essentially.
yeah, essentially, yes.
And that's, I mean, the thing about it is that's already budgeted, that's not something the district
Right,
can
right,
pay
right.
for.
What's, I mean, just because, what are the requirements / expectations on volunteering or being voluntold to take these positions? I mean, I know in the past there have been teachers that are adamant to not
Right.
take part in this.
So by basically taking one of these leadership roles, what you're in charge of is basically scheduling the class meetings with the kids, running elections, and then doing any of the other scheduling type situations associated with homecoming, concessions, let's see here, so freshmen, sophomores, primarily, and as a freshman, sophomore, you do have less of a role type situation. They're primarily concessions, prom, homecoming. Yes, and then also helping get the junior advisors, the freshmen who help with the concessions, drink area during prom.
And then the graduation walk stuff too.
Okay.
Yes,
So are you saying like if you were the freshman advisor this year, you're gonna stay with them for the next 3 years after this year?
so
Is that what I'm saying?
if you're the head freshman advisor,
Yeah.
you stay a freshman advisor for the next 4.
Oh,
Then
you
the
stay as freshman.
and then the other
Yeah.
3, we'll just say 3 people,
They move with
they
the class.
move with the class.
Okay.
So the head stays.
Oh, so freshman stays freshman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
that way you don't lose contract
okay.
limitations and stuff
In,
like that.
in that, I mean, based off what you just said, do we wanna does the freshman and sophomore advisor get paid less than the junior and senior?
Yes.
Yes, it's built in,
Okay.
yep, all right.
And then also, going back to being voluntold, if there is no volunteers to advise the class, is there
And then the
need
rest,
for the administration team to say, hey, you haven't done this for 8 years, it's time for you to,
Is that duties as
as
assigned?
duties as assigned
Mhm.
by administration to fall at that point, yes.
okay.
And that's how those are all set up anyway, like they come out of a rotation, you're supposed to give them basically a year off and then you cycle them back.
Okay.
But yeah, the junior seniors get paid more, they're closer to
For,
Yeah,
400,
so-
450.
9 and 10 right now is 330.18, 11 is 461.35, and grade 12 is 592.51. So there is kind of a little stair step there.
Okay.
Is that a year?
Yes.
Yeah, so the total number won't change, that's just more semantics, which
Mhm.
is fine.
So you're gonna get rid of the class sponsors,
no,
they stay? What's the difference, I
Oh.
guess?
That's the same thing, right?
yes.
The class sponsors
Sponsors
is
is
the
the
same
same
thing, but the head advisor, they're gonna take a little bit out of each one of those to give more to the head of the class. Whoever's the head of the freshman class will get like $75 more.
So there's 3 people that are sponsors,
I don't know.
and they all get this amount too?
Think,
There's
Don't
4
Th-
total,
There's
right?
4.
Four total,
Right,
so-
right,
so
so you have a
3 and
freshman,
then the
sophomore,
head.
junior.
Yeah, so the three that make the class will actually get $75 less, or $25 less.
Yeah, each $25.
The head, and then, how many years does the head of the freshman class stay at?
They'll stay for
Four.
4.
Okay, so it's 4 years and
Okay.
then, okay. I'd like to say I studied that part, but I left that to Brent. 'cause-
No, that's okay. Like I said, we were.
That's a lot more
working-
you guys' world.
We were working, we were working.
I'm worried about it
with
doesn't
Carl on
cost us more money. It doesn't, so, okay, as long as Brent's happy, you guys are happy, I think we'll be all right.
I think that makes sense, and then the nice thing that you'll have there is like, just an example, let's say Erin Folliver would take the sophomores, because she has sophomores all year long. So I mean, it kinda makes sense, and you'll have a natural flow of people that just have seniors and just have juniors, so.
Yep.
I think it makes sense to me.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it, it's just, I know there have been times where it's hard to get people to fill those roles sometimes.
Yes, no, I understand. We're
And-
trying to look for a little bit more consistency
Yeah.
and that type of stuff.
Yep, and, again, there might be people that would rather just stay in a class and actually do it than haven't wanted to in the past either, so. Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't really care about that, but yeah, I think a lot of that stuff, Brent, we should probably cover the stuff we need more clarification on, a lot of that stuff,
Yep.
So
So
start with that.
I would even start, okay, so if we have that one, and if we stick on number 8, and you go to the prom coordinator, so basically what this is, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, you would be taking an additional 25 from your non-head advisors.
Correct.
And-
Just from the senior ones.
Just from the senior ones.
And technically the head, I think the head would also lose 25 in that instance as well.
Okay.
But just because you're taking an entire week's worth of planning out of it.
Right, so, and then the rest of this would be funded through an ASB account, like the student, that class is ASB.
That class is senior ASB account.
And I'll be honest with you, like, that makes a lot of sense. The only thing that I think like for you, what I would recommend in your wording is that in the event they can't find a prom coordinator, the class advisors would have to take on that role at no additional expense to the district. That's just how
That's
I
fair,
would say it.
no, that's completely fair.
Because you might, I guarantee I know who probably already wants to do that.
I think so too.
And if she, for whatever reason, says, I don't wanna do this anymore, like, that's not gonna be like a super, for me, I would be like, absolutely
Yeah,
not.
I'm like absolutely not, but I mean, there are other people who would,
Right,
step up.
potentially, right.
Potentially step up, but yeah, in the event that it doesn't, then it falls back to the way it was, yes.
Okay, so that 25, are we taking it from all senior advisors, or, cause in
Yes.
your wording, it said we'll take
Yes.
25 from the non-head advisors.
Oh, okay,
Um,
so yeah, no, we'll pull,
from you just want to cross out non-head?
Yeah, let's just take the non-head and pull it out for that
So,
one.
and
Yeah.
just replace that with senior advisors?
From the,
Yeah, from the senior
from
From the
advisor.
senior
Yeah.
class advisors?
Yep.
Okay.
But to me, like that, and the other thing that that's gonna do, and no offense, and I know this is just high school stuff, but some of the teachers weren't super actively involved in the prom stuff when they were advisors.
I know.
So this it takes a lot, like that is a big undertaking. That was probably the biggest pain for most of them when you're going through is that senior year. So this would take that off of them and put it on one person, and it's at no cost to the district. To me, like, those two seem like they're kinda no-brainers as far as.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with those.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's not costing us anything else, and it's just cleaning up some things and some
Brent, what
responsibilities.
did you say to change the wording to it in the event?
So in the event you do not have, or you can't find a prom coordinator, the senior class advisors
We'll take on
would
that.
take on that role at no extra expense to the district.
So would they get paid out of that, would they split the ASB than what the prom coordinator would have been paid? Like I don't know how that works.
The $1,000,
I had thought
divide
about
the
that.
Divide the
between the four of
$1,000
them.
between the four, because they're all taking on,
That's what I would do, or I would recommend
Yeah,
doing,
that's what I recommend, yeah. Let's do that.
because it's a pain.
It is a pain, it's a
Right.
huge pain. I hate it. Yes, from the prom ticket designs to, yes.
Okay,
That's it.
Only white
so, okay, so I have a few things on, and again, I think that everybody probably has some of these questions, but if we go now to number 6, because I think this will be covered in 6 and 7, all right? So we're looking at the addition of positions. Okay, high school student council advisor, my understanding is that is new this year.
Right, and from my understanding is right now it's not being paid any monetary incentive from
It
my.
is not, and the trade-off for that, and again, I would be interested in keeping this language, is the trade-off is they do not have to be a class advisor, or a
Yeah.
class, whatever they call
Class
it.
sponsor, yeah.
yeah.
And to me, like, that's a pretty fair trade-off.
Yeah, no, after talking, yeah,
So I don't think that we would have a stipend for that.
correct, I'm good with that.
Are we okay with
So
that?
cross this one out.
Cross out.
I don't think you'll need that in there.
Okay.
Just the language that,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I did clarify with Lauren today, she emailed me and said that the whole science Olympiad, whatever, but she said National Honor Society is not current, those two are together
Yeah.
in one stipend, so she would recommend trying to put National Honor Society on this list.
Yes, so, okay, a little bit of back history on that one. That would have been my next one. Yvonne Gebhardt she took on National Honor Society and academic Olympics.
Yeah,
And she used the high school academics as a stipend for both of those positions. So one person was doing the two jobs, getting the one stipend. It sounds like, in terms of time-wise and things like that, that National Honor Society actually takes more time than academic Olympics. So my thought would be this: we take the amount that they have there and split it somehow
Yeah.
for compensating, and I know, right now, basically National Honor Society's been getting just this stipend,
Right,
mm-hmm,
but that really should have been adjusted when it just went to National Honor Society.
Yeah.
right.
So my recommendation would be you look at splitting it, that was what? What's the amount on that?
1175.
High school academics.
Yeah.
Here. 1175.98.
Yeah, 1175.98. Okay.
So that's going to National Honor Society?
Yes. And then look at splitting it I don't wanna completely not give anything.
Did you wanna
for
do
the-
2/3 and a third?
But I was even thinking what if you went 700 and 400, or 500?
Yeah.
I mean, that would kick it up to $1,200, but
Yeah.
even numbers.
Well, I mean, it'll be up
These will be
anyways.
changed anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be,
Or 800 and 400,
Yeah.
maybe,
Who gets the most?
National Honor Society. So to
How
me, it
much
would
more
be,
work is National Honor Society then?
so he does monthly meetings with them. And theirs is just, I think they practice for a couple weeks that leads up to a competition, is that right?
Right, if I understand correctly, and then with National Honor Society, they do the telethon,
They also
the
do
scholarships.
Scholarships.
Yeah,
They also do the monthly meetings.
yep,
And
and,
Did you say they
Service projects
tutor
and-
kids too after
Oh,
school?
yeah,
yep,
homework
they
up
do
after
their
school.
homework out after school.
So how would you recommend splitting that stipend?
like 60, I mean,
Like
if we go like
60-40?
7 and 5, it's like 60%, right?
Right.
60 and 40, do we wanna leave it there, or do we wanna go, do you
800,
think it should be?
400?
Yeah, why don't we go that way?
Yeah.
Should we wait until we figure out what the,
Well, we'll do it, I would say 2/3 and a third,
get that rather than set numbers.
because the
Right.
number's
Otherwise
gonna
it's
go up.
be-
Yeah, right.
So 2/3 will go.
2/3 and 1/3.
So if we do that with high school academics, what are we doing with the middle school academics?
Well, that's the problem.
Cause that's in the same
It is.
exact as the high school.
I know. I think what we need to maybe look at for that is how much work they do with it compared to the high school. So we might need to do a little homework on that one. That just seemed like a lot for just academic Olympics. So let's hold off on that one. Anyway.
Yeah, we can look into that a
Yep.
little more, that's fine.
Okay, question for the middle school teachers. Middle school web coordinator, that's like your web crew or okay, so, does that person is all of that work done outside of contracted time?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's 2 of us. And we do a lot.
That's not, but it isn't like built into your schedule or anything?
No, not the stuff we do. Like we do the training in the summer with the kids. And we prepare for that. This year I think we're gonna be pressing t-shirts. Things like that.
Stipend for that right now?
I think we got,
They were getting a stipend.
we only got it once. We got, I think $500.
Yeah, I think it was built into the grant originally, but the grant no longer exists.
Each of you 500?
Okay. I mean, at least it gives us better understanding of where we were at or whatever at
And
that
that's
point.
for sure a 2-person job, right?
Yeah.
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 Because I mean,
Can't
it
do
sounds
it.
like.
No.
Okay, and then the middle school athletic director,
I hope I didn't mean that you weren't, but I didn't
No.
think it took 2 people.
No,
That's not
one
what I
time,
meant.
actually one time we had 3 people doing it, so
Okay.
now 2 of us.
I just didn't know if
Yeah.
if somebody would wanna split the stipend or somebody would want them to do it all for one stipend.
What do we do with the link?
I just didn't, I was like, the way that came out, I was like, I hope you didn't think
I don't
that.
see that in here either.
I like my
They-
person
they-
I work
they
with,
got
and we do a
stipend
really
too.
good job together. And
I told
it
her
without her.
I just want everybody to like.
So they got
it.
500 as well? So they were getting 500 as well?
That's the link for ones,
Yeah.
and there were 2 of those, correct? Or,
There's just one.
there's just one?
Well, it was,
No.
I thought it was
It
Tanya
was.
and
Tanya
Kim.
It's
Marshall
Tanya and Kim.
and Chris Lee, I don't know who.
Cause it was both Gordon's and then it was just Hunter.
right, and then it's
And now
switched.
it's Kim and
Okay,
Tanya.
so it's 2?
Yeah, 2 of them.
For like,
Link crew,
Yep.
that is 500.
Cause they have to go do the training and everything to be a link crew leader.
Okay,
Best training ever.
Oh, it's on, yeah, it's on there, it is.
what are we missing off of, that was the one thing on that list, I feel like we always miss something. Middle school athletic director, we can add that stipend in, however it's set up right now.
Oh, are we just rotating esports in as well?
No, we're just skipping
Eh,
that one.
skip right over that one.
Okay, that's fine.
I didn't even see esports, where's it at?
It's between link
Yeah.
crew and high school. Yeah, I guess we just gotta figure out where that falls on the,
Okay.
in relation.
So right now,
Right
the
now.
way that is that is being taken from the BPA
Right.
stipend. So my recommendation would be add this in as a position
Yeah,
with the same, whatever it's set up as with the BPA, like however that's set up in that matrix. And then you keep BPA in the event somebody wants to do BPA.
It's not active right now.
Mm-mm.
You know.
So sad.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah, good with that.
Did you do it in high school?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
That used to be huge.
Yeah.
We used to take a day off of school to judge it, it was amazing. So
I just did it for the trips.
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
I wasn't even in business classes, I just went and took tests and went for the trip. Okay, so,
Okay.
okay, so we're gonna leave, so we're good with that.
I feel like that should
Oh, I see.
take care of that. Now, if something else comes up between now and then, if we think of any that we're missing, like elementary, I don't think, I can't
Does
think of any.
anyone know why I have an arrow, like we talked about the Title IX coordinator last time?
we were talking about maybe that would be admin.
But this
Yeah.
is a,
That's the only note I have is an arrow,
well.
so,
and-
really helpful.
And if I remember correctly, Brent, you said that that's board policy not to list that position, correct?
It's listed in board policy.
Okay, so it's already there, so.
Okay.
And I
No.
think Karen said she's been in touch with you on both of those, that mentor program and the Title IX,
Mm-hmm.
for stipend amounts for those,
So yeah, so
To
the
kinda
mentor
clarify
program
this.
increased last year,
right?
both the coordinator and the mentees.
Yes.
Title IX, I don't know if we've done a lot with, I know we do offer a stipend for that though.
It was just, we wanted it in here so we knew. 'cause
Yeah,
why-
I would keep it in there.
Yeah,
And then the other thing I think, well, the other one we should add is mentees. In here,
Yes.
so we know how
We
much
should-
mentees.
yes.
Of what was that, Brett?
Mentees,
He's gonna have a 3-page appendix C,
that way we know what they're being
size 4
offered.
font.
The mentors and mentees are both getting?
Sorry,
Men-
the
the
mentors, not the
Wait a minute.
mentees. Yeah, we're,
There's a coordinator
and there's
versus
mentors.
mentor.
We will send you this as our proposal.
mentors. Okay,
We will send you this as our as our counter proposal to yours.
So we need to look into what? What was
The middle school.
middle school AD, right?
we need to look at the middle school, academics.
Middle school academics,
And then, yeah, list the link crew and the middle school
yeah.
web coordinators. But yeah, gotta look into the middle school academics to see where that falls, and then obviously switch high school academics into 2.
Jenna Noble does middle school, or should she do academic Olympics?
No, I don't.
You do. How much, okay, so in looking at
We
that,
practice twice a week, starting in January until April is when we compete.
so that's quite a bit more, I think, than what we do at the high school. So that one
They
probably,
put a lot of time in.
yeah, that one probably can stay.
And I've done that one for a while now. We always do that. We start January and then we go until April.
Well, boom, there we go.
There we go.
That answers the question.
Well, I was gonna say, I didn't know if there was like research outside
Yeah,
here.
just
I
speak
don't
up,
know.
you're good.
Okay.
It's easy to do research when we're here.
The only other one is that elementary 504, that was a stipend this year, so are we just gonna add that in there? Okay,
We have to, I think,
okay,
don't you?
yeah,
I mean, and then the other thing that opens up is people, if they want to do it,
right.
they could potentially apply for it. The reason that it went to the counselors is kind of the time flexibility, because of the nature of how those things work, like they would have a little bit more flexibility to go do those meetings, determine whether there's a need for a 504, that sort of thing. Okay, sweet. Okay, now the big questions. Not really. If we look at, okay, let's go to proposal 7. And this is where, okay, so you're looking at grade level, this is the first thing that I really need to know is the number of positions we're probably looking at. right? Because when you start to look at all of this, duties performed, create agenda, run grade level PLC meetings, order grade level consumables for math and reading curriculum, collect data, fill out internet, like, do we have people, like, do we have one person that is doing this already?
I'm not 100% sure if different grade levels have it split up different ways.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it probably depends on the grade level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first grade, I think one person does all of it.
Okay, so, cause I was trying to kind of pinpoint this down, just so we have an idea of cost and things like that. So to me, when I looked at this at the elementary level, you would have, and I'm thinking like, let's just say just PLC side, not even the MTSS piece of it yet. So you'd have kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, so you got 6 right away there.
Mhm.
Then you go to the MTSS side. That's where things like, I kind of had it figured out at a minimum of 13 positions,
So
K through 5.
the intervention team lead at Westside is one person. They lead both academic and behavior. We combined both of those teams last year, I believe, so it's the same team of us doing both.
Okay,
So that Westside one is one person. I don't know for sure at Central if that's one
Right.
position.
so that's what I was wondering. So when you start to get into your MTSS team, and let's even say that they're combined, so you got academics, that's all the same. Is every person getting a stipend or just one person? from
Just
that?
the lead person, only one
Okay.
person. The rest of us are meeting during the school day during contract hours.
Okay.
So, I mean, we wouldn't get extra pay for that because it's within our contract time.
So what about the middle school?
Yeah, middle school might be structured a little bit different, cause I don't know how
They're
you
always
guys
different.
do, like, is there one person that's in charge of like 6th grade per se?
Not really.
Yeah, see, then I'm not sure.
And like, I do most of the MTSS stuff. Like the behavior tracking, and I do, but then Jody helps do things like at school, I mean, so it's, I don't know if there's one set person that does all of it. But grade level wise, not really. And we just started intervention meetings this year.
So like, I'll pick on Jen for a second, because she's probably led the 4th grade PLCs since I've been here.
Yeah.
Right, so that would be like a stipended position then. And you do you spend a lot of time outside of contracted time doing a lot of that? Not really? Okay. The problem is, this is where this one, to me anyway, and I'm not negotiating, I'm just saying, like, to me, when I look at this, like, it is really hard for me to like wrap my head around what are the specific duties that this person is going to do outside of like your contracted time to do it. And here's the other thing, and like, not again, like nothing against the high school department heads, that's really evolved. Like, that used to be like, they did all the requisitions, they did for the entire department, they were even in charge of kind of like basically telling some of them like, you need to pick it up. I mean, it was, and now that's really evolved into not as much of that. I don't
I
think.
still do requisitions
You do?
and things like that for the department.
Okay.
I do mine as well, but
You're
You
by
are
yourself?
department.
Yeah.
You're the department.
And the 6th grade is different because you have a teacher for each subject rather than, you know.
Right, it's more like the middle, it's more like the high school, right? 6 through 8 is more
Yeah.
like the high
Right.
school, where, your math
Right.
teachers would be more in line than
Right.
grade level.
Right.
Sure.
But I didn't honestly, like, I delegated, like, planners are yours,
Mhm.
math
Yeah.
books are yours.
Right.
It was different at the elementary for me when I was doing it that way.
And I think a lot of the teams do that way, really.
And I think it depends on the person, whether they're doing it within their contract hours, on their prep, you know what I mean, or
Mhm.
whatever, or whether they're doing it outside, so.
It's again, like for me, like it's just really hard for me to pin down what this is gonna require.
so would you like more job duties coming from us then?
I mean, I
And
would,
descriptions? Can we get that?
Should the middle school go by departments or by grade level? Like who's your go-to person to talk to, I guess, if, like if Carl had an issue with English,
yeah, he'd go talk to
probably
you.
come to me,
Yep.
Right,
and then I would talk to everybody else.
yeah.
Unless I get a stipend for it.
This doesn't need to be solved right now.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, obviously,
yeah.
this isn't our final meeting, I'm sure.
Right.
Unfortunately,
Let's
it's
just
probably.
have it all night. Yeah.
Right, yeah, and again, like a lot of this stuff, we've leaned, we're leaning on Brent because, we're not there day to day,
Yep.
so, we don't wanna interject what we think is happening, and I mean, obviously, he's asking questions, cause, he's separated from it now for
Right.
years too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something we need to work on, and again,
Yep.
we will, everything that
Fine,
we've
fine.
kinda presenting or whatever, we will send to you as our counter proposal, and then, if you can clarify some of this stuff,
Yep.
cause, I mean, yeah, you can really get in the weeds on that, right? I mean, it's 6 at the grade school level, and then at the middle school, it could be anything from
Right.
3 to 10, depending on, and then,
Yeah.
again, in an equality thing, it's like, if you have the ones that have done it, and like, okay, and I delegate, and everybody's happy, cause we're all been 4th grade teachers together for 10 years, and we're
Mhm.
happy, and then the next one is like, oh, the other 2nd grade teachers are like, not my job, I ain't doing none of it, you're getting a stipend, I'm out,
Yeah.
we don't wanna create hard feelings either way.
Right.
And
And then even choosing those people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, as the building principal, I'd be like, nope, you guys can figure it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
So-
so, yeah, I think we can clarify some of that stuff and get a better grasp on, what that looks like, for your proposal 7.
So if you wouldn't mind, just so you kinda know like what would help. If you could put it together in terms of, and the way I would see it honestly is K-5, what the duties for that stipend would entail, and then also do it then for 6-8. And then, not to like add a ton of stuff to it, but if it's MTSS, it's gonna be different than if you're doing PLC, like lead teachers. And then also at the middle school, if you're doing it by grade level, and now you have, I believe you guys have an intervention team, it sounds like.
Yeah, but we do it me during the day.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would just say, as long as we have something like, we really know like what this person's doing and pin it down, I think that would help them make a decision on whether or not to add those.
Yeah, kinda duties.
Yeah.
And then also,
Do you want my
Bodies.
school to look more at like, if we did it by department rather than grade level?
Probably.
it probably makes more sense, right?
I think so, but.
Cause I mean, that's how we do our curriculum, right, is through that. Yeah, so I think if we had, a little clearer job tasks, job duties, job expectations, but also head count, kind of thing of.
Yeah, so we have an idea of how many we're gonna be looking
Yeah,
at.
what we're looking at.
Okay. Are we good on that one for right now?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so if we go to 9, sorry, I'm not like trying to skip all around.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of like background on this one as to why it's a smaller amount.
Because I didn't have the background.
Yeah, so if you take BPA, that used to be a really big deal. They went to competitions, they went to national competitions. They had to really they had to do a lot of prep work to get themselves ready just to compete. So that one was, and FCCLA, FFA, same thing. They go to a number of competitions and they're kind of prepping all year long. Skills goes to state. I think they go to one event, and I think that's why. I don't know myself. I don't feel that it's fair to the other advisors to have that be the same amount. But my feelings don't matter in this. I just know that was the background for that, because they do a fair amount less than those other stipended positions.
What is Skills USA?
Roger Merritt, like
Where Raj, and then they build projects and then they compete,
they go to Havre typically every year.
and then he talked about, let's see here over the course, he had 16 state championships where they've gone on to nationals, that type of stuff.
Is that like what Vika used to be? like back
I'm a-
in
I think
my
so.
day.
Yes, yes.
I totally referred to it as that before, I
Yeah.
think.
Who?
So,
I don't know. That was, I don't wanna like,
No, I understand.
Yeah, we're not trying to downplay, but I mean, obviously the multipliers, you know, were set for a reason based on, you know, perceived time and whatever. I mean, it's, you know, the reason that, you know, basketball's more than wrestling because the season's longer, you know,
Right.
type of a deal. So that's why that multiplier was set at that. And again, if there's, you know, if it's expanded the role, that's fine, but based off what we, you know, kind of the way we've understood it in the past, it's less time consuming than the BBA, well, what the BBA was, but FFA and
Right.
FCCLA at this point.
yeah.
So,
Okay. Okay, so that takes us through what?
So we got 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pick a random number now. Just kidding.
Go to 5. 5's easy, it's one number.
Okay, so 5.
I think we want to at least include 5 days,
Plus or minus 5
plus
days.
or minus 5 days. You know, it's
We're right there.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, obviously, we haven't met the 2 days every time, and it's almost impossible to do it, but this way, cause, I mean, stuff like this happens where it's like, well, it was 9 last year, 10 is fine, and then it's 12, and then it's, you know, and then it's way off, and.
That's hard when you teach a semester class,
Right.
and you're
Yeah.
supposed to get this
Right.
amount in the whole semester,
Right.
it's like,
And again, like Jen can attest to this too, like those can be challenging though. And Jody, like it can be challenging to try to meet, but the plus or minus, so we're taking out the plus or minus 2. But here's the other thing that I think that to keep in mind, don't take out the try.
Yes,
As long as you leave the try in there, and try to stay within, you know,
plus or minus 5.
plus or minus 13, no? Like, but if we try to stay in that 5
Yeah,
range,
let's go 5 and call, you know,
and see where we land.
yeah, see what happens. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just to have a number so that there's a goal. You know,
Yep.
obviously we understand, cause you know, we've now done it, is this 2 years in a row where we finished before Christmas?
Yep.
You know, and obviously that puts another wrinkle in
Right.
things and.
And I think we were just trying to avoid a potential grievance if we weren't
Right.
in that plus or minus 2.
Yeah.
You know, like if we could change that a little bit, then we would.
Yeah, I mean, the old board was pretty understanding and went with your recommendations. You got all these new people that like.
further.
And you'll end up with 2 more new ones.
Yeah,
So
new
you never
superintendent,
know.
new people,
Yeah.
so, no, I mean, I understand 2 days is tough, probably, you know, in the 10 years I've been on here, we've probably never been within 2 days.
No, I don't think so, not even when we were 5.
Right, so, you know, throw 5 in there, it makes it a little more appeasable for everybody, I think.
It's more realistic,
Yep.
for sure. Okay, 4. So honestly, like this is one just talking with Tracy and I, and we can put the language in, but this is kind of what I'm looking at, like this is what I would recommend. Because the way that these work, they're kind of confusing for people. So you apply for a continuing ed grant, and you're granted that, right? You receive it. If you finish, so those get picked in May, voted on sometimes in June. So basically what it is if they wanna go on to extra schooling, they can apply for this continuing ed grant. It's like up to $500, I think. And then once they complete the work, if they show proof of completion, the district is supposed to reimburse based upon whatever they're supposed to get. That doesn't always happen. It ends up being longer than that. So honestly, like, the way that this just needs to be in the wording in here, because it's vague, right? It just says it has to be, you'll be reimbursed no later than the 2nd week of June of that fiscal year. So if you get approved this year for a continuing ed grant, that'd be the 25-26 school year, it's for the 26-27 school year. So if you finish all of your stuff in June, you're not eligible to be paid until July 1st because it rolls over to the next fiscal year.
the next year.
No.
Just next month.
This is what I'm saying, like, this is how this should be.
Okay.
You finish it, you put in, like, give us your certificate, you give transcripts, you give whatever proof of completion that you have, And the district will reimburse you, say, the next pay period as soon as they have that information.
Absolutely.
But you can't be reimbursed before July 1st. Like if you get one this year,
Mhm,
we can't pay you until after July 1st this year, because
Right.
that's the new fiscal year.
Right.
And then if you don't
If I
submit
applied
it,
now, it would be for next year anyway,
right,
right?
Yeah.
but some of those are in June, like they take classes in June
Right,
of this
sure.
year, so. However, I would keep the wording in though, like, you have to have your proof of completion in by the second Friday in June.
So proof, okay.
So that would be of June, that Friday in June of 2027.
By second Friday in June.
Yeah. Is that what we kind of
But
talked
if they
about?
finish it ahead of time,
They- as
ahead
soon
of
as-
that,
yep.
they will get paid. as soon
Absolutely,
as-
yep. So if you finish in November, send in your proof of completion, you can have your reimbursement, the next pay period.
We'll put the wording in our,
So I'll get some wording put together and send it to them, they can tweak it, and then when they give you their recommendations, I'll add it to that. So that seems like kind of a no-brainer, it just doesn't always happen that way. But that way you're not sitting on that bill for, forever. Boom, we're knocking these out of the park.
the big,
Okay, if you look at number 3.
let's go to 2 first.
Oh, we gotta go to 2.
We'll go to 2 first.
Okay, bereavement leave.
Bereavement should be fairly easy. I mean, not fairly easy, but, yeah, I think on this, we were thinking more, we agree that it's a good addition. I think we were thinking as a starting point from us is it's going a 3-day bereavement, once per year. So you get one bereavement per school year.
You get 3 days of bereavement leave.
3 days bereavement leave, and so that's gonna be our counter. And then we were looking at changing some wording, probably removing surrogates, potentially adding, like a stillbirth, something to that effect.
Sure.
Just because of changing times and changing people and changing positions, I think all of us would agree that that's fine, but, just to cover our bases on that. But, yeah, so we're thinking 3, like I said, 3 days, limited to once per school year, and then with the couple of changes of surrogates, removing surrogates and adding, stillbirths or something to that effect.
Okay.
We'll have that
Pregnancy
written.
loss or, yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
So we'll have that in our, the wording that we think, that we would like on that one. So, yep, 2, now we'll go to 3.
Okay, so the research that I was able to get done last week and this week, I didn't hear back from a ton of schools, cause not a ton of them in northeastern Montana have longevity pay.
Okay.
Glasgow, I know for sure, theirs was like, after 20 years of service, they gave like $2,000, and it had to be in district. So far, everything that I've seen, the other one was Opine. Theirs also had to be in district. So the only thing that I've seen on those is, in district. And to me, when I looked at it, I think it was set up for retaining teachers, really, when it all came about. So that's gonna be up to them on how they wanna counter with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I know, obviously, in the previous ones when we set it up, we've made 2 changes in this area, right, when it comes to longevity pay. One, creating this stipend for in the district time, but we also adjusted how we pay incoming teachers. And as a board, we felt that we are recognizing your time in service by not capping it at 8 years or whatever we used to, I think it was 8. So if you've got 20 years, you come in, at the max. So we're rewarding you for your elsewhere, but we wanna reward the internal teachers. So I think our counter will be to maintain the language as is. That'll be our counter on that. Yeah, and that's just literally the way we look at it, right? we wanted to, reward you for staying here. And we feel like we reward you for, your years of service by letting you start in the pay scale, where you would be if you were here the whole time. So that was our feeling the last, I don't remember if it's 2 times ago or,
Yeah,
Last week.
yeah.
These are all running together.
It's been,
Yeah.
These are all running together on me, so I don't remember what we changed each year, but, yeah, I know that's the way we felt at the time, and I don't think we've changed our ideas on that. Okay, so that'll be our counter on that one. Let's go to 1. I think this one I think we got some tweaks. I know Brent had some ideas, and I think we're pretty good with that. Before we get into the specifics, like some of the concerns that I have is, when it goes to all discretionary and we remove, in essence, you have to remove the 2 days notification, things like that, right? Because technically it's both. If you're sick, you're sick. You don't have to give 2 days. I guess, my concern is protecting the schools, kind of like we talked with last week, of like, we almost have to include some kind of wording in here, and I don't know the best way to do it, of, limiting holiday weeks and things like that, right? I mean, and we didn't have, you might have it in the school handbooks, or, it's not really in the master agreement. There's a couple of tweaks, right? Little things, but, I think we probably have to keep something to the effect of the, for the purpose of severance pay, the maximum accumulation shall be 156 days. That was one thing that got crossed out.
On the sick leave?
Yeah, so
Yep.
for a severance, so that you're not, expecting anything more. So, I mean, it's kind of clear, but it's
We had
just
that
one.
one number 2, we need to change it somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
last time we
I see.
talked about that that, where it says sick leave, that we would probably need to keep all of that language in.
Yeah.
For once you've used your discretionary days, that still needed to be clarified. So not crossing all of that sick leave out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, I just for clarification, right? that-
Yep.
Obviously, that's not a real argument point, because it's mentioned elsewhere, it's capped at 156, but,
Yeah.
just don't want someone, trying to, wait a minute, I didn't have the whole year to use my stuff, so I should be at 163 or whatever, type of thing.
And we wanted to add language too, right, that we talked about last week, or last week about.
Yeah, so we talked about, I have it on the number 2, will roll over into the employee's accumulated sick leave. And then same thing down below, may utilize days from their cumulative sick leave. So it's not, I think it said sick leave bank, which is, our bank is different than, your accumulation.
The district bank, yeah, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And like your number 6, you gotta change 1 day contribution of discretionary leave instead of sick leave.
Yep,
It's
Yeah.
that's.
just the wording.
Yeah, and then I think, again, this is our counter proposal. Brent, if I'm missing anything, please.
Yeah, I'm
I-
kind of looking through.
I think, one suggestion or thought process, which probably wouldn't mind, would be to, if we change everything to discretionary leave, we'd like to cap the rollover at 11.5 days instead of 15.5. It's
So
just a
like-
thought process.
So like, no matter what, I mean, assuming everybody uses 4 days in a year,
Yeah,
so the most you could roll over
Would
a
be
year
11 and a
would
half.
be 11.5.
yeah.
But we would get all 15.5.
Right, so if we decide to agree on the 15.5 being, all discretionary,
it's only like.
we would
60
cap
days
the
from now
rollover at
forward.
11.5.
Sure.
Which is interesting, right? It's the district encouraging everybody to take 4 days.
Right.
When we usually try not to encourage you guys to do that, but,
Right.
but
Yeah, and then,
a little give and take, I guess is the way we're looking at it.
Cause that would probably include if you put into the sick bank, like your 4 days, right?
No,
But-
no,
but I
what
mean,
they're
like-
saying is like, if you didn't use any days,
If I only used one day and I had 14 and a half, I couldn't roll them all
you
over.
couldn't roll them all
It'd
over.
only
You
11
could
and a
roll
half.
Technically, you have 4
But
days.
how many,
a year.
how many teachers do we have that only use less than 4 days a year? I mean,
Very
do-
few.
Yeah.
very few.
I've gotten a check the last few years.
But that's, I mean, that's different, that's your,
Right.
that's your personal.
my personal
Yeah,
days,
that's
yeah.
your personal days.
Right, which is.
So that's my
in the
4 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, if you use sick day, you know, now if you use sick days, you can get paid for that, where this, you know, that goes out the window.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously, you know, I think we need to work on some, like I said, some wording to protect the district, the principals, the teacher, or the schools of like, you know, and it's so hard, right, to say, hey, you can only have 3 teachers from Central off the week of Christmas.
Right.
Cause someone can legitimately get sick, and, you know,
So, there is something in here now.
in the
that-
master agreement, or?
Yeah, there is. It says, 2 days advance notice of intent to use personal leave will be given to the administration.
Right,
Each building principal, with the approval of the district superintendent, may allow up to 3 teachers personal leave prior to or following each school vacation or holiday. So you can change that wording to discretionary
right,
instead of personal.
yeah, but I mean, obviously, then you still run into that fact of the person gets sick.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really, if you've already said, hey, you get this off, and then, you know, Tuesday, another teacher calls in sick, you know.
Are we,
Yeah.
is it been a problem where we're having too many teachers take off those times? Like, I-
Sometimes it does. It's
Yeah.
not
I mean,
for all of them, but
not-
occasionally you do run into it. Like I know West Side this year, before Christmas, I think they were maxed out.
We've had one time this year where, no, twice this year where Sherry has had to say, I can't grant any more leave
Yep.
for these days.
Yeah.
But she gives us well enough in advance. I mean, I feel like it's not, you know,
Right, I mean, obviously, it's a give and a take, right?
Yeah.
It's on you guys to plan ahead, and,
Yeah.
you know, when possible, and.
And it's first come, first served.
yep, yep, that's what it says in here too. It says, these leaves will be granted on a first come, first served basis.
Well,
So-
we'll work on something on
Yeah.
that, and then I
Yeah.
think the other thing that was brought up that we want for sure is to exclude the half-day Fridays from discretionary leave.
Oh, okay.
You know, we would prefer that, cause obviously that's your time to learn, not, you know, in a lot of those things, and some of those are requirements that have to be done.
So those would come out of their sick leave, their accumulated sick leave?
No, I'm just saying that they can't schedule discretionary leave on a half-day Friday.
Oh, yeah, would have to be sick leave. I mean, yeah,
I mean, obviously, there's.
What if I get
extenuating
sick on a
circumstances.
Friday?
Well,
if you get sick,
You're
then that's
powering through,
different.
Johnson.
yeah, I mean, obviously, there's,
That's right.
yeah, in any of these cases, when you do this, right, cause it's still this way, right, it is, even the current way, anyone can be sick on any given day, we understand that.
Yeah.
But we respect the fact that it's not a, you know,
You can't take discretion.
yeah, my kid's got a
for
test
every
today and I don't wanna
PLC
go to
Friday. Yeah.
school.
On half-day
Yeah.
Fridays.
Yeah, we respect that.
Now, that'll be like their counter proposal, but that doesn't mean you
Yeah.
have to agree with
Right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
We're just, I mean, yeah, we gotta give something to, you know, we gotta.
I know.
And then I would recommend to them, including something about only being able to take 4 consecutive discretionary days, like once a calendar year or something like that, so you're not taking like
You're not taking 15.
4 full weeks off, or, you know, like, and not to say that people would do that, but like, that's kind of like one of those things to me, like, I get it, you wanna go on vacation, great, but let's only maybe try to do that once a year. That would be my recommendation for
Can't
you.
afford that many vacations in a year.
Right, yeah, no, I agree with that, to limit that. I mean, obviously with the 4-day school week, that's a whole week, so you're not,
Right.
we are giving you a full week to take off. Anything else missing from that? That we've,
Okay, this might make some more paperwork, but
Okay.
most jobs when you start, you don't get the full 15 days off. I mean, you guys have been teaching for a long time. Is it fair that the first year teachers get as much time off as you guys do?
It's
It
just
is.
the way
Yes,
every
100%.
district.
Yeah, it's-
Technically, they get the most sick out of all of us,
They do.
without their immune
That's true.
systems.
How do you
up.
figure out how to?
Yeah.
They're not powering through, Johnson.
Yeah, kids are making it hard too.
That makes sense.
Once you hit about year 3, your immune system is like, you're a rock.
You've been exposed to all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've worked in places that are both, or where you can use your full, 12 days or whatever, but you technically accumulate it,
Yeah.
I think this is
Okay.
a decent, a fair trade.
And is there language in it right now talking about, limitations of when you can use it? Or that's stuff we're adding?
I don't think so, we would have to add that wording, that would have.
Yeah,
to
we'll
yeah.
come up with something,
Yeah.
figure
I
out
think
what's
I've got quite a bit to go off of for what I have for notes too.
okay. Yeah, so we'll get that, and like I said, that'll be in our kind of proposal.
Thoughts, does that seem fair, 4 days limitation?
That's fair, that's a fair week, so, yeah.
I mean,
Well, and
plus
again,
you're 3
like
days ahead of
if you
time.
have a counter for it, that's great.
Yeah.
Honestly, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay, then the last question I guess I was gonna ask, do you want to know any type of counters for the financial one, or should we get through these ones and then
Let's get
move on
through
to
these
that?
first, and then we can move on to.
I feel like we're in a really good
No,
place
we're
with all of
getting a
them.
lot, I think we're getting a lot, so let's just focus on these and then we'll worry about
Okay,
finance,
yeah.
once we have these down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's different ways to negotiate or whatever, but if we can be pretty solid on all of this stuff, and then spend however many meetings discussing that.
The finance, yeah.
The
It's
big,
gonna be one.
the big one.
Right?
I mean, it could be
Yeah.
one, but,
Destiny.
it could be one, but you guys gotta agree to what I want. No, I think we're in a pretty good place, honestly. Yeah, I think, we'll get this written up, we'll get it to you, in the next couple days.
Yep.
They'll get it sent out to us, we'll send some, anything we see that's missed or whatever, and then they'll get it to you. And then, hopefully we can solidify everything up to this point.
Yeah.
The next one.
I think we're in a pretty good place.
I don't think we're far off, to be fair. I think we're all kind of in a similar position on what we discussed, so. And then, yeah, obviously, if you can get us some more info on those couple of things.
Yep, we can do that.
Just so we can
Send it.
kind of figure out,
Yep.
what that
The first-
stipend package.
The first one, yeah. No,
would,
not the first one.
The,
That would be number 6,
The
maybe?
K through 8
yeah,
or
the
whatever.
middle school lead,
Yeah,
Basically, your
K-
high school
K through
department head
5.
type system.
Number 7.
Yes.
7.
yeah.
yeah, if we can get that kind of hammered out, so, we can kind of get an idea of what that looks like financially from the district standpoint. And then, yeah,
I think that's great. So I would say let's pick our next meeting date.
Did you guys have anything to add?
No,
Okay.
we're good.
We're good.
Okay, 25th and 26th are superintendent interviews. Labor
So that's
management,
not gonna
25th.
be-
Are we doing labor management while we're negotiating?
I think we have something to bring.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there might be.
Well, bring it up now. No, I'm just kidding.
We're trying to work on something ahead of LNC, but
Okay,
well,
sounds good.
it might get here.
That sounds good. Do you want to shoot for the 23rd, 24th?
24th?
Same
I'd
time?
rather do the 24th. 23rd, Westside has parent-teacher
Okay,
conferences
yep.
until 6:30, so.
So maybe let's shoot for the 23rd at
24th.
24th.
Or 24th, sorry.
23rd sounds great.
Yeah, 23rd it
you
is.
can see one of us cares about it. So we'll go 6 o'clock again on the 24th?
Yeah.
That work?
We can't meet earlier?
I got esports.
Yeah, the guy that wants a stipend and to dictate when we.
He wants a steak and he wants to eat it too.
Yeah.
Okay,
So 6.
good stuff. That was a good meeting.
2
6
sounds
o'clock.
Tuesdays would be the only day I have nothing, so.
Perfect for me. Well, that's good. I got something every day that week. That's great.
Same.
Okay, so we will meet next Tuesday at 6. We will get this counter to you in the next couple days.
Okay.
Give you-
Hopefully I'll have it to you by Wednesday.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. We'll have it to you by Thursday at the latest.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Let's not focus on 2 days. We'll go to 3 or 4. We'll try. Anyone else have anything before we get here?